everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather, and today I am here to talk through my April TBR. First of all, a little disclaimer, I have gone makeup free today because my skin has been really angry and upset recently for a couple of different reasons. So I'm just giving it a day to breathe and enjoy moisturizer. Plus, April has 2 readathons hosted by people that I love on BookTube. One is the TBR Clear Out Readathon from Katie at Books and Things. Then I heard about People April through Roz at Scallydandling about the books. Plus I have my own personal reading goals for every month. So I've sort of tried to combine all of those into a reasonable-ish TBR. We'll see how it actually turns out, but I think this could be manageable. So first of all, for my own goals for the month, I am including one D.E. Stevenson book every month so that I am guaranteed a classic and so that I get a little bit of coziness and joy every month, especially with how this particular school year is going. So my D.E. Stevenson this month is Celia's House, and I like to go into these knowing absolutely nothing. I don't think this one is tangentially related to any of the others that I've read so far, but 1 or 2 characters might be referenced from a previous novel, so I want to leave that as a surprise. But these are usually very sweet, I suppose women's fiction stories that were written during the 1930s and 40s and usually take place in small country villages. There's usually some sort of romantic plotline, and yeah, I'm very excited to see what this one is all about. Then we come to the TBR Clear Out Readathon, which has a couple of different prompts. The first is to set your own TBR Clear Out goal, and quite honestly, I just want to finish the readathon. March was an okay month for reading, but I did not make nearly the dent in my TBR that I hoped I would. So I really just want to finish a TBR this month. The second prompt is to pick a book that has been on your TBR for a very long time. And one of the ones that has been on my TBR the longest is Snowflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C., which I think I tried to read possibly for this readathon in 2020 and still did not get to, so I'm going to try again. I know this was a film when I was in my late teens that I was always intrigued by, but I never actually saw. And I think it's the story of a female friendship in China many centuries ago. And the 2 women grow up, they get married, and as they get married and move away from each other, I think possibly the husbands, or at least one of them, tries to restrict communication between the 2. He's a very controlling person. And so they then have to find ways to secretly stay in touch with each other. I think that's what this is. Then prompt 3 is to read a book that has been on your TBR for the shortest amount of time. And I've bought quite a few books recently, but one that will be ready for me to read in April is this copy of The Star Child and Other Fairy Tales by Oscar Wilde. I found this in the Kinokuniya bookshop in New York City at the beginning of March, and I was thrilled to read it. I've been wanting to read a lot of his fairy tales and other short stories for a really long time, so I'm really thrilled to get to this one. Prompt 4 is to read one of the longest books on your TBR. And I've tried to keep this manageable because I will still be working for most of April. Spring break is not that long, unfortunately. So I've gone with The Winter Rose by Jennifer Donnelly. Probably not the longest, but still quite chunky. And this has also been on my TBR for a very long time, as I read the first one, which was The Tea Rose. I think my first year in university. It was my roommate's favorite book. We traded favorite books that year. And I've been looking for the others ever since. I know she doesn't like the other 2 as much, but I'm still going to read it anyway. I believe it's... Actually, I don't know. The last one was English and Irish immigrants who ended up in New York City. Does this pick up where it left off? Is it a completely different story? No, it's completely different. It's still a love triangle, but it's the story of a young woman who graduates medical school in 1900, graduates from a women's medical school, and chooses to work among the poor, solving their problems, rather than making a lucrative living for herself. And then love triangle ensues. It sounds intriguing. Then prompt 5 is to read one of the shortest books on your TBR, and because The Star Child is a collection of short stories, it is also very short, so I'm going to be doubling up on that prompt. Then read a book from your TBR that you fear you have lost interest in. And I am proud to say that I am finally starting the audiobook for Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I finally finished The Last Chronicle of Barset, which was so good, and I'm so glad I took my time with it. But it does mean that I can finally listen to Wicked and find out what all the hype is actually about. And then finally, read a book from your TBR that you are very excited to get to, and I have pulled another newish purchase, which I still have yet to show off. My spring book haul should be coming towards the end of April. But this is The Bodies in the Library by Marty Wingate. My parents loved this series. They're a series of cozy mysteries set in Bath among librarians and book lovers. What more could I want? And then as a separate goal, I have also set myself to read anything that I did not get to in the month of March, which includes a book which is perfect for People April, which is the biography of Agatha Christie by Lucy Worsley. So there you have it. Those are my tentative and yet extensive reading plans. Hopefully this helps me feel like I'm clearing some books out of my TBR to make way for new books. Hopefully April is a much better reading month. I'm already off to a great start this weekend, so hopefully that continues and the busyness of March is behind us. Let me know what you are planning on reading, if you are joining in with any of these readathons. Even if you're not, let me know anyway if you'd like to, and I will see you all in my next video very soon. Until then, be safe, be well, and happy reading. Bye everyone.